Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bus Drivers Route podcast for episode 5 of the Challenge Free Agents with your host, me, Brian Cohen. So far, we've had a very exciting season with a lot of big moments, and to help me break it all down, I had a chance to speak to Johnny, one of the big rookie stars from this season. We talked about his rookie campaign, who he's gotten close to in the house, and some of his other more memorable moments from this season. So we'll get to all that in just a minute. Let me just first remind you to follow me on Twitter, at BusDriversRoute. Go to busdriversroute.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, that'll do it for me. So here is Johnny. All right, so let me first off by asking, going into the season as a rookie, did you get any advice from Jordan on how he handled his rookie season with the politics and everything in the house?
Yeah, there was a little bit of talk with me and Jordan right off the bat. I mean, he had his rookie debut, and he did phenomenal, so why wouldn't I listen to what the kid had to say? He's usually pretty good at this shit anyways, but he didn't really speak too much on the whole subject, but basically just told me to kind of lay low, keep my head down. That was my game plan anyways, kind of just feel everyone out, stay under the radar, and just do me for a while, and that's what Jordan concurred with. He was just like, just relax, don't come in, don't have an attitude, don't have a huge personality right away, don't piss anyone off, and especially don't piss off the people that usually run these shows, like Bananas and CT and Zach.
Yeah. How quickly did you feel kind of accepted in the whole group? Did you feel a little bit like an outsider the first few days?
I mean, I kind of forced myself into being an outsider. I kind of stayed away from everyone. I stayed out of the fun. I stayed out of the drama for a little while. I didn't want to get in anyone's business. But, I mean, everyone's cool as hell. That house was definitely much better and more fun with the environment and the aroma throughout that house with the people there than there was in the real world house. I can say that for sure. But everyone makes you feel accepted. Everyone wants to have fun there. Everyone wants you to fit in and be accepted. So I was definitely open. It was almost like a warm welcoming, but didn't really make friends, so to say. It was like kind of like, I don't know, recess in middle school when you're just playing football with everyone else and, you're all getting along.
Yeah. So besides Jordan, there were 2 other people from your season on this challenge with Jess and Nia. Now, Jess, obviously, you didn't get along with very well during the world, and Nia kind of tried to murder you, I guess, with a hairdryer. So how was your relationship with them this season?
I mean, me and Jessica's still that annoying, nagging little sister. She always will be, always has been to me. She wasn't, we kind of stayed away from each other, I'd say. We exchanged words, we were cordial, but we didn't have too much to say on the fact of our friendship being rebuilt or built to even start with or anything. But she had her clique, I had my clique, and that was that. But as for Nia, I mean, me and Nia ended up being roommates. I got along with Nia. We were fine. We were cool. I had no issues with Nia throughout the whole challenge. It was, past is the past, bygones be bygones. I had no issues.
That's good. That's good to hear then. So, and then Jordan has pretty much become, I would say, maybe the star for this season, always involved in a lot of the stuff. So what are your feelings on him kind of going headstrong right at Bananas, kind of calling him out, throwing him in? Were you on board with him going right after Bananas?
Yeah, I mean, Jordan's my best friend. Jordan was my best friend out there. Jordan's my season. I got that kid back. He was my number one in that house. And, he was my number one before the season, before the challenge started. He was after the challenge started. He was during the challenge. So I had Jordan's back 100%. If Jordan wanted to go at Bananas, then that's fine. He can go at Bananas, and I'll back him on that. But, I mean, I said to him a couple times that he had to calm his arrogance down, calm his attitude down, because he was looking like an ignorant bastard once in a while. But that's Jordan. Jordan knows who he is. Jordan knows he can be the villain, and Jordan's fine with that because Jordan strives off it. And, he does just fine. He might slip up once in a while, but his personality and his character, he carries very well, and he takes care of himself.
Yeah, that's the thing with Jordan. See, because a lot of people, they're not familiar with his real-world season. They might just think he's just, trying to start stuff or going after a big guy. But this is, who he is. This is just what he does. He always talks trash. He's always very confident and stuff. So this is just him doing exactly what he would normally do.
Yep, exactly.
So, and then this week, you actually got to be the captain for the challenge, and you led your team to victory. But I do need to question a little bit your drafting skills, because I'm very curious your decision that you went with Theresa, number 1 overall, over Laurel. So I need to hear the rationale behind this one.
Well, my rationale, my top 3 competitors and girlfriends in that house was Cara Maria was my number 1, and then Laurel and Theresa were number 2, 3. And then, as you stay tuned, me and Laurel butt heads a little bit, so you can watch out for that. But Theresa is just as I worked out with Theresa and stuff. I worked out with Cara Maria. I never really worked out with Laurel. I saw more effort put in from Theresa and Cara Maria. So those were always going to be my 1-2s. Those are who I hung out with more. And my choice on drafting Theresa first was already I've been, as a rookie who hasn't been into elimination round, I got a mock elimination round, I started, looking at the science of the game to be like, all right, well, if I don't pick Cara Maria and Cara Maria is on the other team, she knew this ahead of time, and I end up losing, that's one vote that won't be against me. So I started drafting my team a little bit off of that, with leaving people on the other side that I know I'll be safe with my name not coming out of their mouths come time for vote if we were to lose. So
that's an excellent answer.
Yeah, so that's why Theresa was chosen. I mean, Laurel was probably in consideration, but I wasn't gunning for Laurel right away to get on my team. So I went with Theresa because she's an excellent competitor. And my first choice would have been Cara Maria in any other circumstance, but where it's already, half the people have gone home. I don't, what do we got, 18, 19 people left or something?
Yeah.
It's time to really start looking out for myself and to make, have backup plans and safety valves.
Very smart. I like it. All right. And then with the challenge like this, where even though you guys went first and won, but it's obviously a huge advantage to go second, how is it determined which team goes first or second? Just because you had the first pick? Is that why?
Yes, it was however they drew the names out of that bag, whichever captain was drawn first, is the team to go first.
Okay. And then how does it work with the order for deliberations and then the draw? Is it just wherever you sit? Because that plays like a big part in, I would say, voting. Is it so one person's name gets called out, a lot of people will jump on? So how does that order determine?
That was all random. That was all kind of however you filed into the room at that moment. It was wherever you sat, you sat. So that was all different once in a while. But as with the draw was basically first come, first serve, because if you're the first person to flip that card, then you have the best chance of pulling a blank. Because you got 3 blanks and 1 kill card, and then as it goes down the line, your chance is slim if blank cards are pulled. So people were, struggling to get that first spot, and then finally I think it was Zach at one time, I don't think this ever makes camera or anything, but decided to start putting names in a hat, and you pull your name, whichever name, or it's numbers, I think. You put numbers in a hat, and you pull a number out of the hat, and if you got 1, you went first. If you got 4, you went last.
Oh, okay. So you kind of just divvied up the order amongst yourselves then. That's pretty.
Yeah, because that draw, the difference of a 75% chance and a 25% chance is huge.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So we've seen, since we saw a first repeat elimination this week, I would imagine we've probably seen the 4 main ones. So because you didn't really get to participate in elimination yourself, which of the 4 do you think would be best suited for you that we've seen? We've got the wall climbing, the tug of war race, the run, and then the balls in challenge.
It's a tough question to answer because every one of those challenges would be catered to someone else's abilities, depending on who I'm going up against, who would be my opponent. Like, I would not want to go up against a CT in a tug of war. I wouldn't want to go up against Zach in the Oppenheimer ring there, whatever it's called. And as for the wall, I mean, I wouldn't want to go up against someone that's probably taller, faster than me, or it's different. It's difficult to answer, but I mean, I do like the balls in. Balls in was very athletic, very physical. I like the physical ones. I like the athleticism and all the events. Any athletic event or obstacle or challenge, whatever you want to call it, those are the ones that I always wanted to do. But I wouldn't want to do some of those against some of the bigger, faster, stronger guys like Zach.
Zach, Brandon stood no chance against that one. That was poor timing. But so when you were going to be thrown in, because Frank went home that week, there was an extra kill card that wasn't eventually turned over. But I think of conspiracies with this type of show, and I like to think that all the cards were blank. So did you was that last card flipped over at all?
No, the last card was. Nope, and the last guy would never flipped over.
Wasn't flipped over? Okay. All right, so I'll go to my grave believing they're all black.
Yeah, that was my conspiracy as well. So that was, we'll leave that one up to the challenge gods for that answer, but beats me. That was my conspiracy as well. I kind of felt that the whole time.
Yeah, if those I would be messed off with the timing and how many people are left, so I don't think MTV would have done that.
Yeah, it would have thrown the teams off for the time being, so it only made sense.
Yeah. So a few things from earlier episodes that we need to discuss. So the first is the bar incident with CT being stuck with this whole tab, because I've been trying to figure this out. I have no idea how it happened. How did CT get stuck with paying for the entire bar tab? Why wasn't it split up? Why wasn't it like his birthday? It should be split. I need to know at the bottom of this.
I honestly have no idea about that whole thing. That night was a disaster. I mean, there was a bunch of people fighting. I know Isaac and CT got into it. Basically, I think it was just different countries, different strokes, I guess. You know, lack of communication. CT was probably the first person to buy booze, and they figured they'd just do it all for one tab for everyone because we were all together. You know, we were in a private room together and shit. But we all had to pay for our own shit, and then as the night went on, I guess everything just kept getting tagged onto his bar, and then by the time it comes, you know, it's here to pay the tab, and everyone's shit-faced and happy as hell, all of a sudden CT's the one with the, whatever it was, $800 tab, and he's like, how the hell did I get stuck with this? And no one else is like, oh, well, I didn't do that. I thought I paid my own. I think it was just lack of communication, but it beats me, man. I have no idea how that really happened.
That was just one of the more perplexing moments of the season. All right. The other thing is with Frank being kicked out for being sick. Now, it just seemed like there was just something missing to this whole story, because he was like sick for the entire season basically, and then he was determined to be symptomatic, so they had to kick him out. Did you guys get any further clarification on why at that point Frank had to be sent home?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he was probably there in challenge time. I want to say maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe. I'm not really sure what the exact time lapse was, but he was sick the whole time, and then they would want him to go to doctors. They wanted him to go see a doctor, and he was more nervous about seeing a doctor and getting sent home, so he kept pushing it off and saying he would just battle through it. And then finally he was so beat and dead down on his game that he was like, all right, I got to go see a doctor. And finally when he went to go see the doctor's the one that said, yeah, this is what you got. You're contagious. You know, you're symptomatic, and you can't be around people. And then that's when all the decisions were made.
So did you guys get any tests afterwards to see if you picked up whatever he had? I mean, he was with you guys for a while.
No, nothing happened. No one else ever. I don't think anyone else ever got sick besides him. So it was. I guess there was no rise for cause.
Wow, that's fortunate for him. So the other thing we need to discuss is your little appearance as Magic John. So how did you get summoned for this duty?
Well, basically it was the girls were talking about bachelor parties and bachelorette parties, and you know they got this big fake mock wedding going on. Everyone's like, oh, well, if they're getting married, we obviously got to throw bachelor parties and bachelorette parties. I mean, obviously we do. So, you know, the guys obviously were like, all right, well, we need to get a girl for a stripper. And the first name that popped into mind was obviously Jasmine. They're like, oh, all right, well, obviously Jasmine will shake her ass and strip for us, so let's get Jasmine down here. And then the girls saw that idea, and I think Camilla and Devin were like, oh, well, we're going to need strippers too then. And they came up to me and was like, it wasn't even like they asked. They were like, you're stripping for us. And I was just like, all right, I guess I'm stripping for you guys. And that's all that. It wasn't like a question. There was no you know, opportunity or chance. It was, you're doing this and you're doing it. Because Natty kind of had a thing for me from the beginning, and it was Natty's mock wedding. So it's like, all right, well, you're going to be the stripper for Natty's wedding. I was like, all right, let's do it.
And it worked out pretty well for you. You and Nani hooked up a little bit, and then worked out well for the stripper.
The home wrecking stripper.
The home wrecking,
the night of the wedding.
Ending marriages on the night they're getting married. So, for you, what was who were you besides Jordan? Obviously, who else was kind of in your main group, your main alliance that you were relying on?
I would say my people out there were Zach, CT, Jordan, Cara, Maria.
You guys was that from you kind of got brought in from that from Jordan, or did you kind of just click with all of them immediately?
I just kind of clicked with them. I mean, Zach and CT already were butting heads with Jordan, but because of the attitude and the arrogance he had. But I kind of just it was really the gym, you know, getting down and working out and showing that you're here to compete and you're here to, you know, have an athletic edge and competitiveness and desire to win. That people, I think CT and Zach kind of saw in me, and they were like, all right, well, this kid's, you know, legit. He's a real deal. He's not just here to party and drink alcohol and strip for girls, but he's actually here to win this thing. So he might be, you know, an asset to have around. And then, you know, those are hometown boys too. Zach lives out in Boston now. CT lives out in Boston. So it just kind of worked out that I guess I probably caught, you know, I kind of got an olive branch from CT probably from being a hometown kid to be like, all right, well, I'm going to help this kid out because CT's obviously one of the MVPs of this whole challenge career and big player in the game. And to have him, you know, kind of welcome me with open arms was a nice thing to have. And then me and Zach just clicked, and to have Zach on your side and not have that beast against you was awesome. So it just really worked out for me.
And a little Boston strong team.
Exactly.
So what were some of the big, fun moments you guys have now? Because obviously most of the stuff we see is either challenges or preparing for elimination, stuff like that. So we kind of get a little glimpses of some of the fun stuff you do. But what were some of the highlights that stuck out for you?
During the whole season on the challenge aspect? Or just anything?
At least just up until now. So we'll see. I really like downtime. I like the house, and I like being around and just chilling, just hanging out with everyone. And the gym was sick. I mean, we had an active gym and a basketball court in the house. So just the downtime was always awesome to, you know, sit by the pool, or hit the gym or play some basketball with everyone. There was always something to do. There was always plenty of people in the house. Those were the best moments for me. I mean, just the fact that I'm out in South America and Uruguay and hanging out with these people that I just met and having a good time. That was what really sticks out for me. But, I mean, the challenges were obviously awesome. I love the challenges. I love the competitiveness. And some of the activities we get to do is pretty cool. Yeah, the game with when you're all in the giant bubble to me looks just like something that looks just awesome just to do. Like all
that
the
was
time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I would want to, if there was leagues around here, I'd play a league.
Yeah, I did the same thing. If there was a Sunday league, I would sign up immediately.
Because that was an absolute blast. I would do that any day of the week.
Yeah. So kind of looking ahead, knowing the way MTV operates, I'd say there's a very good chance that next season maybe X's too. And if that's the case, I would imagine that you and Avery would be atop their list of candidates. So how do you think you two would handle that? Would you be a good team together, you think?
I think we would be a good team. I mean, Avery always had a competitive edge. She had desire to win. She's got some fire in that body. So, I mean, I think she'd be a good competitor. And then where I've already got my foot in the door with some people, it'd be a good partner to have anyways from her. And I like to consider myself a good competitor and desire to win. So, I mean, I love that desire to win. I love competing. So, I mean, I'm there to compete first and foremost. So, Avery's going to be on my team. We'll get shit done.
Have you guys had much communication since you left for the challenge and came back and all that?
No communication really at all. Just a couple business things to get our apartment out in Boston settled up and cleared out.
Okay. All right. So I look forward to seeing what you have in store for the rest of the season. I have a feeling you're putting together a strong rookie season. I think it's going to continue. So I'm very, very excited to see what you have in store for us.
Hell yeah, Brian. Stay tuned, buddy.
Absolutely. Where can people find you on Twitter so they can keep up with all of these stuff?
It's Johnny Reilly _ at Johnny Reilly _.
Keeping that underscore, no MTV to your name yet?
No, I haven't added the MTV yet. People keep asking, but I haven't done it yet. I got the trademark on my title name there, but my at name's just Johnny Reilly _ All
right. Good talking to you, man.
Have a good one, Brian. Stay tuned, man.
Bye. There it is. The bus drivers are out places in the books. Hope you enjoyed my chat with Johnny. I thought he provided some pretty good insight onto the season so far. So before I wrap things up, let me just remind you to follow me on Twitter at busdriversroute. Go to busdriversroute.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, that'll do it for me. So until next time, have a good one.